Hunter Biden is indicted on 9 tax charges in California as a special counsel investigation into the business dealings of President Joe Biden's son intensifies. One America's Daniel Baldwin dives into the details.
Special counsel David Weiss slammed Hunter Biden with a 9-count indictment Thursday evening, alleging the first son engaged in a 4-year scheme to not pay at least $1.4 million in self-assessed federal taxes. Paul Kamenar of the National Legal and Policy Center is with us. Paul, the indictment laid out that Hunter Biden, and I think this is key, willingly engaged in this scheme to withhold his taxes. This is a long time coming. What is your general reaction?
Well, I was very glad to see it. Like you said, it was a long time coming. They had charged him with tax violations back last summer in that Delaware case. They were trying to make a sweetheart deal. And thank God for the 2 IRS whistleblowers. And thank God for the federal judge in Delaware who did not sign off on this sweetheart deal that they wanted to sweep it under the rugs. So after that, as you know, Merrick Garland appointed David Weiss as special counsel so that he could file these charges in other courts other than Delaware. And as he did, he filed in California. And I don't know what took him so long. I mean, this has been investigating for over 5 years, but the charges are serious. There's 3 felonies, 6 misdemeanors. The maximum he will could serve is 17 years. Although that I don't see that happening. If he's found guilty, or even if he pleads guilty, I see him getting at least 1 to 3 years in prison.
Paul, the amount of money that Hunter Biden spent on pleasurable actions is relatively startling. His shopping list, between 2016 and 2019, he withdrew more than $1.6 million from an ATM. He paid nearly $700,000 to quote-unquote various women, and nearly $200,000 for adult entertainment. It documents he made this money from Ukraine, Romania, China. Begs the question of how did he get this money? Where was it coming from? It feels as though that there are a lot of unanswered questions that this indictment kind of opens up the can of worms.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, from the hearings and the investigation that the House was doing, we do know that a lot of this money, up to maybe $50 million, came from foreign sources, from Ukraine, from Russia, from Romania, and therefore this was all laundered through various LLC corporations, and some of this ended up with Joe Biden, and that's the key here. Is the other side is saying, well, this is all Hunter Biden's problem. You can't show Joe Biden was getting any money. Well, number one, that's not true, and number two, under the bribery laws, even if your family gets the money and not you, that still counts as a bribery charge under federal law.
Well, Paul, it's interesting in that sense. Weiss emphasized the investigation was continuing, it was ongoing. So that prompts the question, this was a fairly straightforward indictment regarding the taxes, but there are other issues at play here. Could we see charges down the line regarding a FARA violation or bribery in that sense? What do you anticipate Weiss doing? Do you think this is it, or do you expect more charges?
No, I don't think this is it. Like you said, it is ongoing. And we've been arguing for the last 3 years that Hunter should be charged with a FARA violation. That's the Foreign Agents Registration Act, for doing the bidding of all these foreign companies. And so that's still on the table. But, the statute of limitations is kind of running out on that. In terms of bribery, yes, there's a lot of implication here that this money was used to buy influence and influence Joe Biden's administration. And you have, in fact, coming out today, additional information that the House has got 6 suspicious activity reports from banks showing $12 million being funneled through Joe Biden's house in Delaware for human trafficking and money laundering. Excuse me, what's going on there? So these are other charges that are out there, but there's more here, and I think the House is going to now have more impetus to continue with their investigation as well as their impeachment inquiry that's coming up.
Paul Kamenar of the National Legal and Policy Center. Sir, we appreciate you breaking it all down for us here on One American News. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.